Welcome back to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for staying with us. Well, not all kids are destined for a four-year liberal arts university, and that doesn't mean they can't find meaningful careers that pay well. But whether they go to a traditional college or into a trade, the modern world expects a more developed set of skills now. And that's the idea behind the career and technical education programs here in Washoe County School District. Well, Dr. Dana Ryan, the director of that program, is here now to tell us more about it. Dana, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so back when I was in high school, I think when they talked about technical and skills education, it meant home ec, wood shop, that sort of thing. It's different now. What happened to those programs?
Those programs are still there. It's just that we've come to understand that those programs are not just for the student who maybe can't go to college or doesn't have the aptitude, but really needs a skill to survive. They're really programs that are highly valuable for all students, regardless of what their outcomes are going to be, whether they choose to go into the military, they go to four-year university, they go into an apprenticeship. Those programs are there, and they develop the skills students need to be successful in any circumstance after high school.
Right, and things have changed a lot. What skills now are really considered mandatory to just function in our modern world?
Well, that's an interesting question, because it used to be that there was this set of skills for college and this set of skills for career, right? And people thought they were different. But the reality is, in the last 10 years, we've come to discover that they're the same. There are things like being able to work with a group, being able to communicate effectively, being able to manage your time, think through a problem and come up with a creative, innovative solution. Those things are what we call soft skills or 21st century skills. So those are the basic frame of what you need for success. In addition to that, though, we've discovered that we need to give kids opportunities to take the skills that they learn in an academic classroom and apply it to a real world problem. It engages them, it helps them take those things and see, okay, I got this theory, but how do I apply it to something that really matters? So we have to give them a reason. It creates purpose in their education, it really hones those technical skills, and it really drives home the academics and the importance of those.
Okay, so explain to those who aren't familiar what the CTE umbrella is, and then the signature academies within that umbrella.
Got it. Career and technical education is a national term. It's in every state in our country. It's been around since the early 1900s. It used to be called vocational education, but today it's really about the integration of academics with technical skills. So career and technical education programs are available in all of our high schools. Within that context, we have kind of specialty programs that are, think of them like career and technical education programs on steroids, right? So instead of just taking, let's say you're going to take a computer science 1, 2, 3 class. So they're in a sequence, 3 years. That's a career and technical education program. But maybe you're really interested in computer science, how to take a computer apart, put it back together, networking, all of those things. Then you might get into a signature academy that has a focus on information technology, such as Sparks High School, where you're going to learn a little bit of graphics, a little bit of computer-based stuff, CAD, some business pieces, and your program is now not just that 1, 2, 3, but it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, getting you to that completion level where you really are able to think through a problem, apply it to something that's real, go out into the community and share the knowledge that you have with our whole community.
Okay, so for the students who are part of the signature academies, how does that work with their normal curriculum? They're still taking English, they're still taking geometry, that sort of thing?
Yep.
How does it work?
It's exactly like you would have gotten when you were in high school. When I was in high school, you take all of your core academics, we have to meet the requirements for graduation. But instead of taking perhaps an elective in music or an elective in ROTC, they would choose to do this in place of that. So these are kids who have a goal, like they know what they're interested in, and so they're ready to pursue that as early as 9th grade.
And these are things that you wouldn't typically expect to find in high school. We're talking about medicine, they're building drones, they are really learning some things that are I don't know, unusual.
Right.
Maybe becoming more usual.
It's the gamut from agriculture to welding and every letter in between. So we're really seeing kids with a focus on things like graphic design, video production, health sciences, right? Because we know that that's a really fast growing area. Engineering, we have a variety of different programs that kind of feed manufacturing and engineering, which again is a high growth area for us in this state. So if you can think about it, we can probably find a place for you to start developing it in high school.
Now, how much have these programs changed, say, within the last 5 years?
Oh, I think it's a whole different landscape now than it was 5 years ago. I think that we've developed kind of this credibility around what these programs can offer students, we've seen our enrollment has increased by leaps and bounds. We've gone from kind of tasting different programs. So I'm going to try a culinary class, and I'm going to try a human development class. I'm going to try a welding class, and maybe I'm going to try an auto class too. Okay, I tried maybe 2 as a freshman. Now I'm really going to focus in on metalworking and pre-engineering skills. So it's a very different landscape. It's a very different mindset. We really want kids to get to the 3rd level of a program so that they are able to take all of the skills they've learned, integrate them together, become collaborative in the way they solve problems, and reach out into the community to start building that network for whatever comes next for them.
Mm-hmm. So how do you pick which programs to put in which high schools?
Some of it is that there were programs that were there that we kind of morphed into something new. But the other part of it, when we look at a new program, is what is it that that community wants? What is it that their interests are around? So for instance, North Valleys is a great example. North Valleys is a very agriculturally based community, and so we're starting an agricultural program out there. And that has been, it's kind of been slow to take off, but we've got a new greenhouse going in, we've got a new ag mechanics facility going in, and so it's going to be a place where instead of having to travel across town maybe to a different program that offers that, those kids can stay in their home community and take the things that they're doing, they're interested in, and grow them in their home high school.
Now, if a student wants to go to a signature academy that isn't in their zoned high school, do they have the opportunity to go to a different high school?
They do. They can apply. Once a student applies for a signature academy and they get in, it's a lottery process, and 25% of the positions in each school are saved for those kids who are coming from another place where they might not have access to that program. So they absolutely can do that.
So this is pretty common then if you save 25%.
Oh yeah.
Wow, so there's a lot of moving around.
Oh yeah.
Is that a way of maybe attracting students from the more overcrowded schools into the lesser populated schools?
It definitely is, but more than the overcrowded piece, what we're really seeing is we're able to match programs with student interests. And when you do that, you raise their level of investment in school and in education. And we see that the outcomes are our graduation rates in these programs are higher. We see that our students are happier in these programs. They compete across the country with their peers. They're very successful. So yes, it helps with overcrowding, but that's not necessarily the purpose.
Okay, real quick, how are all these programs funded?
They are funded predominantly through grants, so through our federal Perkins grant, but I have to tell you that our state legislature has been very supportive of the programs. In the last legislature, we were given a ton of money for this year and for next year, so we have been really fortunate in the fact that we can upgrade facilities, we can train teachers the way they need to be trained, and there's been a lot of change, as you know, because our economy, the new economy in Nevada is very much about logistics and healthcare and manufacturing, and we've really had to bring ourselves up to speed on that. So it's given us the kind of funding that we need to really prepare solid programs so that we can really guarantee solid outcomes for students.
And I know you're also working with potential employers. Do they specifically say to you, we need people who know how to do this thing, and then you teach the kids that thing?
Oh yes, absolutely. We just met with a group of manufacturing folks earlier this week, and they went through all of our standards and said, these are the things that really work for us, these are the things that are missing, and then we take that information and say, okay, great, if that's what the demand is in industry, we need to figure out a way to put that in there.
How fast is the turnaround?
Well, for us it's relatively fast because we can hear what they say and kind of embed it into what we have. They're not necessarily big changes. For the most part, our standards are pretty well set and they're pretty solid. So the little stuff, easy for us to change. The long-term stuff, things like aligning high school programs to community college to the university, they take a little bit longer. However, we've done a great job with that. We have developed what we call the Learn and Earn pathway, which is a connection between high school, community college, all the way through a four-year degree. Now, that doesn't mean a student has to do a four-year degree. It just simply means that they have that opportunity. They can start in high school and get on or off that pathway wherever they want.
What types of study are we talking about through this program?
So there's one, we've completed one in manufacturing. We're currently working on one, and this is not me, this is the Governor's Office of Economic Development and a large group of people that are stakeholders basically who want to get this done. Working on one in biological science, agriculture, IT, and then education as well.
Wow. Any plans to grow that into more fields?
Oh, heck yeah. We have big plans.
What's the most popular program?
You know what? They're all popular. They're all popular, and I think that in itself speaks to the fact that we have a really diverse community, we have a really diverse student population, and we have an obligation really to offer them a wide variety of things to meet their needs.
Okay, so for parents or students who see this, where do they get more information?
They can always call our office, 775-327-3945, or check our website, washoeschools.net/SACTE, Signature Academies and Career Technical
Okay,
Education.
we will absolutely get that on our website as
Perfect.
well. All right, we have a minute left. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything I missed?
I just think it's really important to note that our programs are not isolated from the community. It's the relationship with the community and the schools is so vital to success that we are really working closely with our industry partners. We've taken our teachers and our administrators out to the Tri-Center. We've had them look at our new industries here so that they understand how it is that what they're doing in schools impacts what's coming for us in the future. So we're just really excited about those kinds of community partnerships and what it offers for our students and for our community.
Absolutely. Okay, Dana, thank you so much for your time. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that is it for this episode of Face the State. But for more information on all of this or to see past episodes, just head to our website. That's ktvn.com. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week.